You are now listening to Empty Out the Clip.
This is for grandmas that pass knowledge down through stories and songs. Most are not with us no longer. We pay homage to you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We pay homage to you. Yeah, yeah.
Born and raised in the 3024 in a time way before technology connected us all. I was raised about a click.
All right, welcome to another episode of the LTC podcast, Empty Out the Clip. This is episode 188. It's your boy Leslie and the Fades holding it down for another one. Joining me here in the city of Sales, 09, the murder capital of NZ. Coming to you from the heart of West Auckland, I've got the brothers, Chucky, a.k.a. Kaisar, Eri, the butcher.
Yo.
What is going, my brothers? How's it going?
Yo, gurus.
Oh, man, you know how we do it. Start off some shout-outs. Let's go.
Yo, just want to make a shout out to the WesWes Fitness boxing crew and all the people that train at WesWes Fitness. You know, the slogan is home away from home. So yeah, shout out to all of the boys and girls. Shout out to my Inga and my Liston brothers. Seki.
Nice.
Yeah, shout outs for me. Once again, Lord Jesus Christ, all praise and glory to you. Thank you for providing for us, keeping us safe. Second shout out, shout out to my family back home in Samoa, all the way in Whaliwha. Yeah, shout out to you guys. Much love, much respect. See you guys soon. And also shout out to just all the hardworking polys out there, trying to put a plate on the table. Much aloha to you, much respect. That's me.
Massive shout out to my cousin Terza, Ems, and to the host James Fatuatu from P-Town for reaching out during the week. Another one to my cousin Galis, aka Everbeats, One Take Productions, for his exclusive intro for the NZ Music Month, and now Lopa for letting us use homage for our intro track last week. Another one's to my brother-in-laws and sister-in-laws and my nephews and nieces that flew over for the hectic week of celebrations that we've just had. Didn't know how much it means to us every time my wife's siblings make the effort to fly over for every little event in our family. You guys are so much appreciated, and we love you guys. My last one's to my cousin Phil. For your butts, he's always messaging and always supporting and always showing love. And just giving his 5 cents of critiques and stuff that we can always get better and making our sound the way it sounds on this podcast. So yeah, thanks cuz for always continuing to be that guy. Mad love to you cuz. So a bit of housekeeping. So you can find more of our footage on our WesWesNet.com or on our WesWes Network YouTube channel. Producer Cans uploads each week. You can find us on our Facebook page, Empty Out the Clip. Here you can comment, post topics, any requests and content you want for the boys to talk about on our pod each week. Just answer the questions. Security will let you in. So I know I've had a lack of sleep this week.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but yeah. Start off with how's your week been, boys? We'll start off with you, Kaisar. How's the week been?
Yeah, I don't sleep anyway, man. You know, it's I'll have a chance to sleep when I reach heaven. Yeah. So yeah, week's been pretty challenging. Yeah, just a lot of life is a lot of challenges, a lot of obstacle courses, a lot of potholes, but we'll figure it out. Getting there. At the end of the day, I'm happy we're not going backwards, we're going forwards, so I can't complain. The week's good. Let's get it on. Let's do it again.
Nice.
50K, I can smell it.
I hear me.
Standing back.
Holy going on that one.
Hey, let's do it.
You gotta take that one.
That's
surely.
motivating. Hey, that's motivating. Not this 10 grand bullshit they have and run the street. But hey, that's another topic. That's me. God is good.
Yo, yeah, someone clipped me on that 50K challenge, like with the over boxing. Nah, man.
Eddie's the one.
Nah.
Use your size, Eddie.
I'll get
Let's
knocked
get
out
it
straight
done.
away. Nah, man. Same with you guys, man. Like, oh man, lack of sleep, bro. Just been working extra long hours. Starting super early. I just don't have the team, mate. Like, we got one guy maternity leave, another guy sick, another guy with sore back. So just basically struggling on with a skeleton crew. This week alone, usually we do about 60 cartons of chicken. The that we break. So six chickens per box. So that's 360 chickens that we break a week, plus all the other supplies that we buy in as well for my department. But this week alone, we did a chicken special. But the only way we can do it is by ordering like bulk amount of chickens and breaking it by hand. So this week alone, bro, and man, my wrist is sore, bro. I broke 138 boxes of chicken, which is about 828 chickens. Just hand boning, hand breaking it down. Fuck. Honestly, bro, my wrist is fucked. But you gotta do what you gotta do to pay this freaking mortgage, eh? But yeah, man. Nah, I felt that shout out to all those hardworking pollies that you did, Kaisar, bro. I felt that, bro. But yeah, nah, man. It's been a hard week, so today I've just been in and out of sleep, just trying to rest up, just trying to catch up on sleep, because yeah, I go to bed at like midnight, which is dumb, and I wake up at about 4:45 and get ready for work. But yeah, how about you, lady?
Man, I've had the most hectic week ever, bro. And like last week, man, it's like catching up on sleep, and probably still haven't caught up on sleep. But I can say this much: I start my new job on Tuesday morning.
Yeah. Congratulations, brother.
And, man, that's been a roller coaster of emotion, but only because they're stepping out of the unknown. Like, and man, shout out to my cousin Dan up at Westgate PNS, man, for just giving me an opportunity to be part of their team. But this week was been a busy week. Like I said, man, it's New Zealand Music Month, the month of May. It's always famous for New Zealand Music Month, and also because Floyd Mayweather always fought in May. But my two boys, their birthdays are 10 days apart, and this year made it that much special because Nikita graduated with a Bachelor of Health Science.
Congratulations, brother. Congratulations.
Congrats.
And as much as we wanted to celebrate, it was just like, we missed the ceremony, man. Like, when I was home, and so many things happened that day. It was just like a roller coaster of things that didn't go our way. Like, we were literally in the stadium, but we just didn't get to see her walk across the stage. And I guess I felt my mom's presence, like just being there, like learning what it is to not being able to control the time factor and control your emotions, because you can't be there for everything, right? And I remember saying to Kita, like, eventually there's gonna come a time in life where you can't say, I've got you, like, because you can't, right? And I don't wear a car down because my truck's being used. So we all couldn't be there. We were playing literally musical chairs, trying to fit each other in everyone's ride, because we're all trying to be in certain places, right? And that's life, man. Like, it happens. The thing that made the event that much suffer is that I'm glad that she's got a boyfriend who's so supportive. Like, he did his best to get the night off, so he was there. And I even messaged Kira in between that drama, like saying, hey, your future husband's there. They may heal you, someone's there for you. So she came across the stage and waved. But one thing that she put on me was like, she wanted to wear her Tokelau attire. And I got to acknowledge my auntie for making it happen, because she sort of took over my mum in the Atahu community with being treasurer. Because my mum was pretty much the treasurer of Atahu's Mulihelu's OG group that came to NZ. And looked after the books forever. Like, every time she requested stuff, like, people would drop whatever and do it. And it was the same request when my auntie was like asking for like mum's certificate so she could go into the bank and access the money and the accounts and all that stuff. So when she requested it during the funeral week, I literally like stopped and made it happen within the hour. I wasn't gonna stop, you know what I mean? So my auntie, she fortunately made the titi happen, which is sort of like the dress you wear. And even though we didn't hear from him, because I've been working the shift work, I brought her my sister. I was like, can you sort it? Like, I can't be bothered, man. I'm busy. I'm trying to sleep. And I can't reply to someone who's replying back to me 14 hours later. In the end, Kita got it. Like, it showed up. And then what would have made that event much more special? Because Kita wanted it. And she was saying stuff like this to my wife. I wish Nana was here, man. Like, because my mom could just ring someone and, oh, thank you. Thanks for filling that. She ended up dressing in the whole attire, but what was special is that she got a white bar, and that's one of those things you usually get on like certain ceremonies, right? But where are you gonna find these, because we believe not to pay for stuff like this, You can visit someone on the other side of the world and ask, you wouldn't happen to have a bar, and they would go, what color do you want? What's the event? And whatever color they send you, that's the gift that they give, right? You give with your heart, not in the intent of getting something back.
Mm.
But my cousin happened to show up like maybe a month ago, dropped 3 off. My sister gifted one because these are things that are passed down. So she got one from my sister. She got from an older cousin who had 3 of them. Got one, gifted it to my brother's daughter that we haven't seen in years because she returned back to Brisbane and gave one. My sister kept one, and then she just happened to have this one, and she gave it to Nikita and asked her, "You choose, because I've got one already. You can choose." So Nikita got it. If she could ask herself the question, what would have been more important? Me and Mum being there, or walking across that stage in your tie? I think that's a no-brainer answer, because the representation of representing your grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
We were there, but we weren't there.
Mm.
That gift of walking across the stage, representing your parents, grandparents, and your country.
Mm.
We were physically there, but you know what? I wouldn't change it for the world, man, because these bigger events coming. You know what I mean? It just meant that we weren't meant to be there. So that's the one big thing that I took from that. And as much as I was pissed off at everyone, everyone that sort of like dragged us down trying to get there, we made it. We were there, and I had to, man, I couldn't look her in the eye and say sorry. I just hugged her while she was taking photos, and I walked away because I was too mad. But then I could hear my mom's voice. Oh no, hey, you can't control everything. We ended up having a nice dinner. Like I'm thankful that my boss said, have the night off, don't come in. Like I was trying to be that guy, Fia Poko. I don't want to be short next week. But funnily enough, I had an alternative day because we worked through Easter. That's going to make up the wages for next week. So we didn't have to worry about it, man. So it all worked out, you know what I mean? So I'm just grateful, man. Like, sometimes your decisions come to a head like that. And I'm sure in Kita's heart, if she, like in hindsight, she looks back at this. Me and my wife were sitting in the stands, but we were in the building. She would rather be dressed in her tokelao attire than seeing us there. And I believe wholeheartedly she'll probably appreciate that more later on, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was a tough one, but the dinner was awesome, man. Like, this girl, she's got big kudos, bro. Like, she's got a big heart, and like, cause she knows I've only just started working. But the day she graduated from when she got her results, she told her boyfriend, I gotta get a side hustle, man, because I gotta pay for this graduation dinner. So her and her partner started up Chizzies. They started selling notais down at work, and that's what they did to pay for pretty much the dinner. So that was another fun of love it that I didn't have to worry about. It was just if I could just be there and be there when she was, And I was, like, we were there. Like, it wasn't like we were in another country or in the car park. We were inside the building, but we just weren't in our seats. So I guess I looked at it like that, But yeah, that's been our week, man. And then literally the following day, my son turned 1. I did the birthday cake, went to work, and then on Friday we went up to Parakai. We did the whole water creatures Shrek theme in the swamp in the back area. It was beautiful, man. Having all my nieces and nephews here, they can't, they under the age of 6, just in the pool, everyone together. It was awesome, man. We spent the whole day up there, and I went to work. Pretty much second to last shift or last shift. They asked me if I could go back in, and I did. And then last night, my son had turned 18th, man. So this is why it's been a hectic week. We created a playlist literally like over the last 4 weekends and listening to YouTube Premium, like, because I didn't have it and I didn't know how it worked. He created a playlist. He had an 80s theme, MTV 80s theme. We sorted the speakers. Again, another thing put on me, it was like if I had sleep, it could have been done. I got mates, so I could just ring. But they aren't here, and I didn't want to put out them, so I just decided I'll get the speakers going. We had a disco. It was probably one of the best 18th that people are super. There's typical moment dances, man. Everyone's having fights, everyone's having fun, the lights are on, everyone's sober, but it's a vibe. So it was literally like that last night, man. That's why my voice is like this, man, because it's just like asleep like this. But I had a good cry too, because it's not his actual 18th, but it's like that. In 10 more days, this boy's going to be legal age to buy smokes and buy liquor and that, And I look at his innocence and I appreciate, like, man, my son doesn't do any of that stuff, but he enjoys 80s music. And I realize, man, 80s music is a vibe, man. Like literally this playlist this guy played, I could see a lot of the makuas like just sitting there and like banging like, okay, no one's watching, but just get up and do your thing, man. No one's judging here. We are in the house of the Lord. So it's pretty crazy. But yeah, man, like absolutely hectic as, man, and like epic way to like sort of finish off the busy week. But I'm so grateful, man, like because he got to see all his day ones from literally when he was there primary, man, like and he's like 6 of them. And because it was 80s theme, my wife ended up getting a backdrop. We knew the hip hop sort of 80s MTV stuff, like with the tagging and the big speakers. And the man went as Rick Ashley with his, and I told him, because he's got a horsetail lane, like, Sonny, Rick Ashley doesn't have a mullet. I might as well cut the back. And he was like, no, leave it there. And then sure enough, he had it tied up as, when we left, when we got there. Shout out to my sisters for showing up and Ubered him there, like, because they picked him up. We went ready. This guy was ready at 4 o'clock. He got there, and as soon as the crowd shaded up, man, the man took the hair out and knit the mullet like Taurenika style. But now, yeah, man, shout out to everyone who made that night possible yesterday night, man. It was like epic, eh? Like, I don't think there's ever been an 18th with so many sober people and kids just popping balloons. Surely, it was one of those nights.
Surely, malo.
The week,
Yo,
bro.
Shotouts. Yo.
Surely. But anyways, man, the week's been that hectic. Brad didn't even get to watch the highlights of the MP and Blues, man. Chucking it over, boys. So we started off with the weekend rapper sports, man. Tell us some good news, boys.
Oh, you didn't miss much from the Broncos, but
Yeah, carry on.
let's go back to Auckland and Moana.
Ooh,
Yeah,
what a
yeah.
game.
No, I didn't catch much. I just catch some short highlights of Moana. Yeah, Penrith struggling. Who else? And then just the game tonight with the Warriors and oh shucks, sorry,
Last night,
yeah, Broncos and Dragons. So yeah. What's the final score on that one, Eddie?
20. What up? 26-30.
26-30. There
Yeah,
you go.
Dragons, man.
Mm.
Gutherson was just on fire. But yeah, now weekend of sports, man. Dogs are still up there, man. Warriors with another win. Sharkies with the upset against the Storm. Eels. I don't know what's wrong with Ponga and the boys at Newcastle, but they're just not gelling. But yeah, Roosters put up a good fight against the Dogs, but Dogs are too good. With Super Rugby, I watched a little bit of the Crusaders holding off the Waratahs, I think. And the big game, Moana Pasifika versus the Blues. I wanted the Blues to win, just because, I'm a Blues fan. But, at the back of my mind, I was like, man, I wouldn't mind Moana doing it as well, for Ari. So there was a late change up. Julian Savia got promoted to the front line, so he was in center. There was some dubious calls, to be honest, from the ref from that game.
Yeah.
Moana scored a try right on the line, and clearly the ball's crossed the line, but they said that his forearm was in the way and was unable to let the ball be grounded. I was like, that's over the line. It looks like it touches for a split second, but no, it was ruled not a try. And also, I want to, if anyone knows the rugby rules, can they go back two rucks back to a penalty? Because I remember the World Cup that they did that against us when Saraka played against the All Blacks. So what happened was one Pacifica player put his foot into touch. He threw the ball in, right? So clearly he's out, but he threw the ball in. The Blues gained possession of the ball, which means it's no longer an attacking phase from Moana Pasifika, but it's an attacking phase from the Blues. But then when the Blues player went to ground, the ball got turned over again to Moana Pasifika side. Then they quickly threw the ball to the left and scored a try. And then they came all the way back. And remember, there's many phases. They went all the way back and challenged the player stepping out. So I don't know what the rules were like that, but they were throwing words like, "Is this in protocol? Is this out protocol?" I was like, so they like he put the foot out, right? So that's Blues ball, but he threw it in. Blues gained possession, so shouldn't it be play on? I don't know, but yeah, bit of controversy, but yeah, Moana just came back and just yeah, Adi Savea single-handedly just manhandled the forwards for a little bit. Crazy, but
Man, eh? Man.
yeah, absolutely beast.
He's got a cape, man, for Moana, man. He's got a
Yo.
red cape on, man. He's the man. What's the top 5 in the NRL at the moment? What's the round? Round 10, 11?
I think it's round 10.
Round
At
10.
the moment, Bulldogs, Warriors at the top, Storm and Sharks, Raiders, Seagulls, Cowboys, and Broncos hold the top 8. But that's
Nice.
with results incoming. Yeah, no, Siki.
Oh man, I didn't actually take my bet, eh? Did Ari score a try?
No. I think no.
And they didn't. They were leading. They weren't. The Blues were leading at halftime, eh? So lucky I didn't take their bet. Saved myself $20. Shout out to Mickey Lahi for giving me advice to take that one. Would I lost my $20. But within the other games of the round, they stood out apart from the Blues one. The Blues, hiding from Moana.
Probably the heartbreaking game was Highlanders and Hurricanes. We needed the Highlanders to win, to make it better for the Blues to make it to top 6.
Yeah.
But last minute, apparently Hurricanes scored tries.
Do you reckon it was a text message to each other, to the coaches, to say, "Oh, can you guys just let us score, and then we'll mathematically keep the Blues out? So we'll make this competition that much interesting."
Yo, facts.
You never know, eh? You never know, guys.
Because at the table now for the rugby is Brumbies, Chiefs, Crusaders, Reds make up the top 4, and then the last 2 spots is Hurricanes and Moana Pasifika, with Blues just outside the 6. Yeah.
And that's where the bonus points are crucial, eh? The for and against and your tries, man. Like that's sort of like the 1A as well. Like it's those things, right? Like so when I watched St. Paul's and Custon the other week, and I ended up talking to Coach Zane as well, because Zane's like the mental advisor for the first 15 at Custon. And I was saying to him, watching the first 15 play St. Paul's, it was like, because he's got a whole lot of league players that are playing in the first 15 at the moment, it's like, if your rugby IQ is onto it, and you got a kicker who can kick goals from the sidelines, if you're in reach of the points, take the points, right? Because for 6 penalties, they kicked it out for touch, like they were playing league, kick it out, do a line out. But then the line is not any stronger, so you might as well tap it or take a scrum, right? Because you're more of a chance of getting the ball back and running it out. If they had taken the 6 points, or the 6 attempts at goal and got every kick, that's 18 points on top. You know what I mean? It's literally like 3 points, a kick, 6. They would have made that scoreline blow out. And that bonus point at the end of the season is what's going to count towards you guys if you go like a 4-way deadlock and you need the bonus point. Like, say if you're 5th, right, and you got 3 other teams on 5th, your bonus points are the things that's going to get you up. So that's why the Blues, had they been like scoring or having close games, like at least their margins are like close, but mathematically now it's like it's sort of like, if they do, it will be like how the Drua made it into the quarters like they did before, which is like long shot, eh? Was there anything else on that
Nah.
sports? Nah, that's us. All right, so we started off with some topics, eh? And I know Kaisar put this up a while ago, and I don't know, bro, it's a bit of a funny one, eh? But I titled it, "It's the dumbest sport coming to New Zealand." And I thought they deserved that title, eh? Because to be honest, right, like I don't know if you've seen, but like when Kaisar spoke about the 50K, now what's more stupider? Jumping in the ring for what was the time cap on the standing throwing hands? Was it like
one
That's
minute
standing,
round.
yeah, 1 minute round, stand and bang, Dan
can't be
Hooker,
pro way?
stand and bang. Nah, no pros allowed, stand and bang for 50K, man. 50K. Fuck,
Yeah,
straight
that's
up,
nothing.
man.
That's
That's
nothing.
motivation enough.
Yo, hi.
Yeah. And then
Nah,
the fight, and then in the fight game, that's nothing. 50K is nothing. But on the street, bring it on. Yeah, you gotta get big numbers. That's the heavyweight purse as well.
All right.
That's the second event. The first event was in Thailand just about a week ago. Yeah, so now it's in Auckland City.
Just as long as
Get
they're
it
not
done.
paying 50K in pesos, bro. Like just saying. But we will compare, right? But we'll compare to the stupidest sport first. So we'll touch on that,
Yeah.
and then we'll do a comparison, right? So if you want to share that, Kaisar, you saw the Runner Straight Challenge coming to NZ. Give us a backdrop on that.
Yeah, I just saw the highlights on that one. So with the Runner Straight, it's coming to Auckland, New Zealand. Oh shit, forgot the dates for that one. What is it? What is it now? May, April? I think it's next month. Actually, next month, end of next month, I think it is. But for the viewers, if you know the date, just correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah, so they're coming to New Zealand. All the event in I can't be the shoot. That one there is pretty much on. I think it's at one of Telstra Stadium. I think it is. It's in. So yeah, I forget how much the prize money is, but by saying that, it's man, they're getting backing. They've got sponsorship already, so it's growing, and you got even TV networks from college football, NFL in the States that are watching this. You know, even professional NFL players are starting to get the width of it. They say, hey, there's this competition called Run It, and it's over in Australia and New Zealand. So they're getting a lot of views from overseas, and man, I reckon it's gonna be the next big thing, coming out from this side of the world, and also for scouts as well. I believe. Keep an eye out for this one, man, because they're getting big backings from networks now. Everybody's interested. Everybody's having a look at it. I think at the moment it's just the fact of how to make it more safer. I mean, how can you make it safer? It's pretty much like stand and bang. You gotta brace for the impact, and you're gonna give it your best. You know, there is no one percenters in this game. You know, and it's the next best thing, I believe. I believe it's for those failed players or those reject players. Man, I believe that's a second lifeline for them to become pros one day. I believe so, because these guys, this Run It, starting from nothing, is gonna be something. What's your point? I'll throw it to the viewers as well. What do you guys think as well? Comment down below what you guys think about Run It, because it's a huge backing now. It's a huge backing now. If everybody's having a look at it, it's just gonna get bigger and bigger, in my opinion. And to have it at a big stadium, wow, out in South, let's go, let's get it. But yeah, prize money shit compared to stand and bang. Yeah, man. I'll throw it over to you guys and the viewers.
Oh man, I got a different take on it, yeah, I mean, there's good money and there's good backing, and if they do want to turn it into a proper sport, and like you said, I reckon, yeah, I agree, it's going to be something big. There needs to be like rules and regulations and stuff, and how contact is made. You know, you see like rugby, NRL, American football working towards like you know, the safety of the player in terms of head contact, and how they're trying to minimize, you know, the damages that it causes after their professional career. But yeah, it can issue serious injuries both to head, neck, shoulders, even the ribs. But yeah, does this competition allow for like proper technique to be used? Because I've seen guys, especially on the defensive side, they just launch themselves with a shoulder leading, and that's quite poor technique, because like, you know, you're launching, and if you misjudge the height and the distance, there's room for extreme injury caused to the body. Also, when it comes to this spectacle, is there cover from like medical insurance or ACC if something bad does happen, and how well is your family covered? Like, these are all the questions that need to be asked. And yeah, you're right. Like, you know, all the ex-NRL guys, or, you know, rugby players that couldn't make it, this could be their chance to make some good money. You know, I agree with that. But man, there's a feeling in the back of my mind of all these people, like, you know, especially the whites, just looking at us. Oh, these are just islanders banging each other. Look at that, Keith. You know, what are you thinking of these islanders banging each other? But you know, these are probably the same guys that's like paying to watch it. But
Definitely are.
yeah, yeah. it's just hard. Like, there are programs out there that's trying to build the community. Prize money for this, and this is just, I don't know. It's just bringing that dog on dog mentality.
Yeah.
But time will tell. Time will tell. But yeah, that's just my 10 cents. How about you, Let's?
Well, okay, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for you to answer the next question, and then I'll give it to you in one as what I think overall. So now, what do you think about the Dan Hooker and Israel promoting this go 1 minute for 50K? Like, if you could just think about that one off the top of your head. We'll start with you guys.
Oh, no comment. That's a bit too close to home for me. I might get sorted by a couple of can't drop any names, but hey, yeah, no. As a comparison, I don't know. Let me rewind it back before I answer that question, because I've just got the deets. So that Auckland event, it's a runner championship league, right? And they have a trial day. So the trial day, there is a prize. There is a prize on the trial day. Okay, it's a $20,000 prize. Okay, that a $20,000 cash prize. That's what it is. If you come up trumps on the trial day, and out of that trial day, the top 8 get selected, to advance to run it. Okay, on the actual big event at the stadium, and that prize money itself is. Oh, sorry. That prize money itself. There is a trial day. Auckland Events also has a $5,000 prize for second place and a $1,000 prize for third place. Okay, so the prize money is $20,000. Okay, once again, there's safety issues there. But let's go back to asking Leti's question there. The comparison, man. The only thing they got in common is that you're gonna get cussed. You're gonna get concussed, man. Either way, you're gonna walk away with a few brain cells lost. But hey, at the end of the day, the fittest will survive. The fittest will survive. But note this as well: 50,000K. That's motivating. You can't say no. Especially if you're coming from it's struggling. Times are hard, and the majority of guys that are gonna be on those events are Polynesians. They're going to sign up. They're not even going to think twice. They're going to put a plate on the table, right? And that's more rewarding than I run it straight at 20, run it at 20K, or a community run it at 10K, But I won't be stupid enough to actually put my body on the line to run it straight. I give it up for all those polys that are doing it. But there is a risk that like Eddie said, man, anything can happen. There's guys there that their backs, landed on their heads, their backs. Hey, there's a possibility you could go away as a cripple, or a vegetable. Yeah. So, with the 50K bang, man, can't wait. It's entertaining. Entertaining, man. Entertaining. 1 minute bang out, 1 minute stand out, three rounds. Let's get it on. Let's do it. You know what I mean? 50K, man. Just got to be smarter at the end of the day. With the run it, man, there's no need to be smart, man. It's just basically, a Mack truck versus a Mack truck, But with the standard bag, you got a bit of a leeway. You got to throw hands, man. There's no touch around here. Yeah. I'll leave it up to you guys and the viewers, man.
Comparison between the two. I feel like boxing is more of a controlled chaos. I feel like it's more of a even though you're slugging it out, it's still a chess game. You got to pick your punches, find opportunities to get in, and if both guys are slugging, man, all you got to do is hold out. Pick your opportunity, bang, and same risks to head, body. It's exactly the same, but it's in a controlled environment, and there are a set of rules. No hitting behind the head, no low blows, anything like that. So good luck to the sluggers, man. Because 1 minute, even for a slugger, man, like 30 seconds, they'll get gassed. So there'd be opportunities for the other opponent to strike back, and so we'll see. Time will tell which sport's better, but there's risks in both. But I feel like boxing will be more of a controlled, chaotic. It's in the ring as well. It's more of a controlled chaos. Yeah.
Now it's interesting. Kaisar said it was the runner. Like that's the one that that Solomona from the Storms. He's because that's an indoor artificial where they have lights and spectacles where it's like it's recorded for pay-per-view sort of style, right? So it's like an arena watch. So that looks like if you're NRL or ARL or NFL sort of person looking for a couple of big runners like a Fia Poko or looking for some heavy hitters like a Skivi Makai, you'll be looking at one of those tournaments, right? Because that's a control where they tell you, and you get dressed in a t-shirt, and you get to wear molds and that on a astroturf sort of style, eh? Well, see, what I've seen is the boys that do the run it from Mount Jordan, that they're bringing their one here too. Because I've seen one of the first places that said that they were gonna do one out of the Magpies, and then the next one will be at the Marist Saints. So that one there's just straight fucking jungle, bro. They got two weight classes. I think it's one's under 100, then the other one is the super heavies, and that's where the guy Felix I was telling you about. He's won two of those runner straights and finished the third one that was in Cabletown. He finished first equal because the Usos didn't want to see them keep going at each other because they were tight. Because they do this thing with their hands and they roll it back. Felix rolled it back against a guy who was fucking doing those straight off hits, but it wasn't so much leading off the shoulder. It was more of a swinging arm, like a sort of swing and wrap. But he was actually launching as well. So he had good technique for putting on a hit, but it's illegal technique in NRL and it'd be illegal tackle, no wrapping of the arms in rugby. So that's the tackle tech that this guy was using against Felix. Whereas Felix's his weaker game was his running, but his hit was fucking deadly, man. Because it's a stand, it's literally like a Sunny Pool sort of. You stand into the tackle, and it's perfect timing. Like the timing's on every time. Doesn't matter if it's tall, short, or like medium and just solid. Fucking, if you ever run into a guy who stands and stands in the tackle, he's usually the second guy. If you do a two-man tackle, so he'll be taking you up top. So if you run high, fucking it's game over. You're definitely gonna bounce back off Felix's shoulders. But the runner, I've never really watched it. I've just seen those guys get concussed with it's clean and it's straight stupid, no technique. They look dressed the part, but they fucking, I've never seen any clean hits, and a lot of that usually is a weight bearing because the high, motion, the center of gravity, and the way they run, and it sort of looks like guy. Because the last promo video that I saw them do, the dude almost fucking does a parry in the air, and then he's obviously hurt, but he tries to walk it off because all the cameras and people there watching. In comparison to that stand and bang that Izzy that are trying to promote, and this is just my own opinion, right? Now, I've done KOB hampers for the last 7 years where you go and take a male offer to the family grieving. And the fact these guys want to throw it to the street when they know their foe died from one of those kingpin hits, the fact they're promoting something for the street, this is where I'm a bit like, it's a bit dumb. It's a bit fucking dumb. A bit too raw for me, personally. I don't know foul personally, but I know the fucking family. You know what I mean? As a Castle family, I would hate to see any KOB gear go support that shit after knowing what happened to one of our brothers. You know what I mean? So the fact that they stand there and say, we're not going to take the pros, but we'll keep it to the street, is like, promoting something like that outside of a controlled arena like MMA or boxing is fucking dumb, in my opinion. Because I would hate to see his baby Isa and see that these guys are promoting something for the street, knowing that they heard dad passed away like that. Like that to me is fucking. None of your close boys would do something stupid like that unless it was going back to her. You know what I mean? But this is the other way around. These guys are throwing money at the people doing it. Like what are they trying to gain from it? You're not feeding the street. You want to keep the street going, fucking do some charity work. Go feed the homeless. Go help people in the communities, put on a community group or stuff where they can find a pathway into a career to be a boxer or an MMA fighter. But don't promote this shit. Like if you're doing it, you're doing it with drug money, and it's fucking stupid, bro. I don't agree with the intent of how they're trying to promote something, right? If it was for a TV show, be different. Because, obviously it's going to be from the views. But to jump on social media and use the platform and say, oh, look, we'll go to the street, knowing that one of CKP's up and coming was fucking literally there and he died from a king hit, was like dumb. Like, to me, principles wise, is not a good thing. But that's where I am with that sort of way of thinking. You know what I mean? So you're both world class champs, man. You'll never see a Floyd Mayweather go promote something stupid like that, man. Or Manny Pacquiao. You know, I just thought it was a bit dumb. You know what I mean? So hopefully they come to their freaking senses and just scrap it, bro. Because that's dumb, man. Like, go and take money over to that guy's baby. Like, don't go and promote something dumb like that. Like, but that's my opinion, bro. Yeah, that's my opinion for that whole shenanigans that's going on social media, man. That's the
Let me throw it this way too. Yeah, good opinion, good point too, because there is there's huge risk factors. Everybody's mentioning it, even on the mainstream media as well, with significant concussions and everything like this, with run it straight and all that. And for it coming to New Zealand, they're keeping a close eye on that one as well. They're going to try and cover it when it does turn up to our shores anyway. But let me add that one in. So you got stand and bang, you got run it straight, but then you also got to add to that list power slap as well. I mean, power slap as well. Look how far that's grown and that's come. I think this just off the cuff on this one is these ones are just gonna be just as big, and it's all for entertainment. And at the end of the day, like I was saying, each to one own, each to everybody's own. But 50K for that stand and bang, most definitely motivating. For power slap, oh man, that's just stupid on its own. And for run it straight, yeah, man, good luck, buddy. Yeah, raise up the stakes for that one, man, because they're all high risk, right? They're all high risk, but that running straight, those are big boys. Those are big boys, man, and far up, man. Yeah, good luck. Yeah, put it down for the viewers, man. Leave it up to you guys. Comment down below. Let us know your thoughts.
Jackie, we'll give us something short, eh? So you got a minute now, so we're going over time with that first topic. But short and sharp, the Maori Party lawmakers stood down for as a fair punishment for the haka that they did in Parliament, and that's the story that went viral, right? So, got a minute each. Spit what you think. Start with you, Eddie. Is a fair punishment to be banned from the caucus?
If it's written in the law, yeah, it's fair. You know, that's the thing. If you wanna beat these guys, you gotta beat them at their own game. Doing a haka in Parliament definitely was the strongest, most powerful way you could protest. However, if it wasn't legal, it doesn't count. They should have just joined what the Hikoi did from marching all the way north, all the way to Wellington. Perfectly peaceful, perfectly legal. And I think that's what the Te Pati Maori need to understand is like, we can't be extremists anymore. We have to conform and beat them at their own game legally. But yeah, second.
Well said. Yeah, for me personally, yeah, caught a whiff of that one as well. Time and place for everything, right? And it's like when you get caught to a funeral, it's an even speaking ground, right? Everybody has that respect to have a say. And then when it comes to something extra, you know, to push a point across with whatever it may be, the haka or whatever it may be, you know, then hey, there's a time and place for everything. If it's in the rules, then yeah. If it's in the meeting rules, then yeah, man, chill out, man, relax. You know, what's the saying? Yeah, don't hate the player, hate the game. Yeah. Throw it out to you guys, the viewers as well. Comment down below. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say it like this: being stood down, temporary suspension from the caucus, it's a bit extreme, man. Probably being the first haka ever performed in the caucus like that, and I think the mana that came from performing that haka inside the caucus for the purpose and for the sole reading of how it went, like starting with the wording, then the tear of the paper, then to be joined, like that can never be taken away. But as a fair punishment, I feel personally it's not fair, because in NRL and in many things you get a warning, right? You can there's always leeway for a bit of a warning. Like, come on, like surely they could be told like, this is a verbal warning, we're gonna go to a written, then we're gonna give you the stand down. But I think 3 days stand down is like, yeah, it might not be much, Like they might miss 3 days, but I thought in this day and age you could have got away with a written warning or before you got a final warning. You know what I mean? But this is straight, yeah, all what go think about like naughty corner styles, and I agree with you both, man. Like yeah, time and place, and if it's in the rules, well, there you go. You got to play to their ways. But I'm just saying, this could have been one of those things like how we just make it official, make them apologize. We come back and join the caucus and carry on. Like, yeah, I just thought it's like, this is just another Palangi trying to swear their fools and say who runs this. You know what I mean? That's the way I was thinking about it. But,
I thought we were all over that. I thought it happened, yo.
Kaisar, man, where you getting your articles from, Zeli?
Straight off the cuff, fool. Straight off the cuff.
He was the controversy for TikTok, eh? Nah, sticky boys. We got a post from Mel Puka. He's one of our new people to empty out the clip. But he put on Arson that's been going on at the GI. And these days are Pakaranga ways. But the WINZ building, they got torched. That's more than a couple of weeks ago now. I don't know if you guys read up on that or seen anything happening on it. Like, what is it? Are they people not getting the benefits or what is it? The supplementation, was it? Accommodation supplement not enough? Like, tell me what's going on with the people like East, man.
Sorry, man. It wasn't enough. Wasn't enough.
There's back going on if you missed a week from the day you went for your appointment. What is it? Like, what's the situation? But any of you guys read up or hear about any of it going on?
Yeah, I heard a lot. I mean, hey, I told the boys to take it easy, you know? Petrol these days is costing a lot of money, boys, yeah?
Hey, when the price of milk is more expensive than petrol, so like something's wrong. Something is wrong, man.
It's totally hard. Even the cost for just smoked fish. Fucking smoked fish.
It's a free thing.
Yeah, even the chicken backs have gone up to $30 a pop.
Hey.
I want to get paid, man. I want to be paid.
Yeah, who puts price on fucking offal, man? Man, back in the days, they used to say there's dog food. Now they actually eat that food. They see Samoa make soups from it, and they say, fuck, now they want to eat it. So the struggle's real, man. Of course, food is food.
Well,
Most of you Arson, I mean, two happened in 1 week, right? The Mangele WINZ office, and then that GI one later on that week. Carlo Fai Mangele, man, I remember standing in that line in the cold in the morning. Yeah. Oh man, I don't know, but whoever's doing it, man, fucking stop it.
yo.
Just stop it.
Just remind us.
Yeah, get some help.
Check and see if there's any orbs or any paranormal things going on there. Sorry. Yeah, some plan, warriors.
Sorry. Yeah, nah. What about you? It's
Oh man, like I think it was just a disgruntled person not getting their money on time. But the thing is, like, I don't know the actual figures. I haven't had look up or protocols and whatnot. But burning down the WINZ offices, and they have to, clean it all out, rebuild it. Does that come out of the WINZ department funds? Like, are you not making it worse for yourself? But yeah, times are tough, man, and people out there are desperate. So, you can only bend metal so far before it snaps. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
But who burned the McDonald's, man? Come on.
Sorry guys, I broke my fasting. So I had to blame McDonald's.
It's a worry, eh? I mean, it's a worry. Like, I mean, it's showing the times that we're living in. That's tough out there, man. And I was working like a 50-hour week to see cash in hand, like maybe 1,100. 50-hour week, man, for haka, yeah. Like, that's stretching it. And I predicted this like maybe more than 2 years ago. I was talking about it. You watch, man, the price of living's going to go up. Once the ODI changes, the interest rates might go up or come back down. Gas might be cheaper, but the living wages is not enough. The living wage is not enough, man. And it's quite sad, eh? Because even when a lot of people are saying, "Oh, did you find something that's paying better?" I mean, if $29 to $30 is an entry level job at the moment, and you're doing 50 hours just to crack $1,000, and you're getting a flat rate, if you work anything over there, that's not a lot, man. Once you pay everything, your land rates, your water rates, as well as the phone bills, the internet bill, power bill, fuck, it's not a lot, man. It's not. It's really. This is where, for Mother's Day, I spent $90. Oh, okay, we'll run it up to 100. I spent $100 to cook. I mean, that was gonna it's gonna stretch for 2.5 days, 3 days max. But that's feeding 7 of us. That's hard, man. It's hard because, not everyone's got energy. Not everyone's got energy to cook a hot meal fresh every night, unless you got a slow cooker, unless you got connections. Because look at the price of mince. Mince is the staples. If more is not cheap, if no one's got a Costco card to go, if I go a $9 chicken, life is hard, man. Because when the chicken comes in my fridge, I will eat it right to the pakua till there's nothing, bro.
The lamu.
Even the ligament tastes good,
Yeah.
because that's reality, man. And for those people, whoever's disgruntled and going to do that stuff, you better be careful, man. Because if your name is in those files and you haven't been paid, well, you might not get it. You might have to go to pick a ring out to go see what's happening with your, if your case manager is out of a job for that time. But I just hope it's not an islander. You know what I mean? I hope it's not someone Maori or Pasifika going to do stuff like that. Because, there's other things that money could be spent on, better things, But yeah, that's quite sad. And I just hope that whoever's doing it gets help. Because it's like porn, man. You do too much of it, you get carried away, They don't know when to stop.
Yeah. Shout out to Billy. Billy, did you hear that?
So it might be that guy from Festivals. What's his name? He's the guy.
Billy that stays all the way over in North Shore. Billy, stop it. Yeah. Also, I think 2 weeks prior to that one as well, there was a tire shop that caught on fire as well. So yeah.
Was it for insurances or was it because all the fire was already got put out to all the boys?
I
There
mean,
was
yeah.
$100,000 worth of 4x4 tires on the top right there. That just catch fire first.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
my no insurance.
But just touching up on those notes, they say it was caused electrical, the one in GI, from a air conditioning unit. So that's what they reckon. But they're still calling out foul play because there's a bit of a trend going on out there. Eh?
But when he said that, though, Uspray insurances are being real guys at the moment, man. Any little things like
harder.
that, they will do everything to sweep it away because they know they got that money that's disappeared during COVID, man. That's easy for them to say. And the fire brigade can invite a couple of boys that they have coffee with that know that are fire investigators to come and have a look. Just for them to be paid off from insurance to say, "Oh, nah, fuck it, we ain't gonna pay for that shit. We'd rather pay you $1,000 extra than to pay for $100,000 just to get that reno started." You never know, man. These days,
Facts,
Tricky
man.
boys.
Facts.
So I haven't been watching jack shit TV, hey, bro. I don't think I've watched TV for the last 2 weeks, man. But what have you guys been watching, man? What's interesting in the butcher's search tabs there?
Well, we know. Just been watching docos on YouTube. I've been watching a little bit of the season 2 of Andor, but I've been watching just Japanese history on YouTube. So they were talking about the 3 unifiers of Japan. So Oda Nobunaga, Hideyoshi Toyotomi, and Ieyasu Tokugawa, and how all 3 of them, even though they unified Japan, the different ways they looked at unifying Japan. So there was this poem that this guy wrote about the 3 unifiers, and the first one was he sees a bird, and he says, "Bird, sing for me, or you die." And then the second is Hideyoshi Toyotomi. He goes, "Bird, sing for me. If you don't, I'll make you sing for me." And then the third, Ieyasu Tokugawa says to the bird, "Bird, sing for me. But if you don't, it's all right. I'll wait." but it's all about the three different styles of these samurai lords and how they work things. So the first one was all about domination. The second one was all about alliances and making sure that his line was secured. And the third one, Tokugawa, he played the patient game. He waited and he ended up winning the Battle of Sekigahara. And he started a 250-year dynasty, the Tokugawa shogunate. So it was pretty cool documentary. And that was done by the BBC. But yeah, how about you guys?
Yeah, BBC. Yeah, they bring us some good ones. I know that one. I've watched that one too.
Yeah.
Studied that one about 2 years ago as well. Those are good stories. There's more to it. Eh? They've got a lineage of that of generations before and generations current and generations after that.
Yeah,
it's funny how it changes because sometimes the emperors, what do you call it? The shoguns, sometimes the next Passover from them with their kids in there, sometimes they can be humble and sometimes they can be flippant, just ruthless. Just ruthless, just want it all. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So that one's a good one. Yeah. No, it's funny you mentioned that. I've been watching the rise and fall of Mongolia, the Mongolia Empire.
Oh yeah.
That one alone is a story on its own. It's so amazing how global they went. So freaking too when you follow that story. But yeah. Once again, generations and generations. But with the passover of generations to royalty, they had the same philosophy. They stood and they were loyal to the first Khan, to the first Khan's plan. And I think that's what made them more ruthless with their tracks and that. So that's a good read, and it's a good historian story too, because it also leads up to the pottery just ending up in Samoa. But let me add that one to the viewers, man. Do your research and listen out for that one. Search it out. Comment down below, man. Mongolia's ended up in Samoa.
That's where the yelp came from me.
True way, yeah. But good history channels. Yeah, just doing a bit of a read up and do some research on that just for history. Yeah, just some facts on there. Oh yeah. Also, I won't mention it here too much online here, but just royalties of Polynesia. Yeah, there's one that came in that a story that they try to keep behind the scenes has come up just recently, and it's based on real facts, even from the missionaries. The missionaries have mentioned this, so that's a missing puzzle that will add up all the dots of the line between, Samoa, Fiji, so on and so forth. Micronesia, Melanesia, because how they chop it up today is just basically, they just say part of the story from middle to the end, but they never they try to say that's the beginning of the story. And matter of fact, this missing puzzle is actually the beginning of everything. So I won't say too much on that. That's another chop up on its own, man. We can go on and on about that. Yeah. What about you guys? Let's.
Well, I've been looking up how to rebuild power steering pumps. So I've been
Nice.
fuck on, man. Like, because I've reached out to a couple of boys that are mechanics, and I've asked them, like, is it better or is it cheaper to pull out the power steering pump, or is it, and then my mate in Arson, shout out to my also Matthew Hunt, said, "Tale, these days we don't even bother, we just take it out, just make sure you don't leanga the belt that goes around it if I'm not gonna replace the belt." But I was thinking to myself, shit, man, I might get Leroy to help me rebuild the power steering pump, because all it is just that thin, it's just a thin seal. It's just literally you can buy like a $12 rebuild kit from Ripco and rebuild the power steering pump. So I guess the getting it fixed is in the person doing the work, because all you need is a circlip. I think there's a little circlip and then the seal that needs to be removed, and the way you take it apart, you just put it back together the way you took it out. So I was thinking about it, but then my brother-in-law told me, Fia just rang me, I would have just bought one over. But then he looked up online in Melbourne. You can look at a LS1 power steering for XV at like $900. And I said, that's the thing. I don't want to pay $900. Because my niece Oksana, when she was here for Kita's 21st, she would have bought one over, but it was like $550. I go, nah. these are only worth about 200, 250 plus. Like I would play GST 300 for one, unless anyone's got some kake in the backyard. Put a little comment and a PM me later, and then help me out. Help a brother out, man. Been trying to get to it for some time now, but yeah, but I'm hoping that my transmission ain't gone on my ride, so yeah, man, bro. But nah, I haven't been browsing much. But yeah, I'm one of those guys, man. I'm like the sound of your PlayStation. Oops, is literally my browser. Seki, we'll roll over to comments corner. What do you got for us, Eddie?
Filippo commented about Babyface being one of the artists and producers out there, and man, like he's done it quite a bit. And he asked if we could take a look at the I think it's the small desk studio
the
for
tiny
Babyface.
desk.
Yeah, tiny
Can I
desk.
just comment on that right now?
Yo,
The reason why, like, man, if you have been to live concerts, right?
yo,
If you watch any of if you look at anything that's recorded live, it only sounds good if the sound is good.
yo.
Okay, if you go listen to that one else, I can promise you watch it, you start getting annoyed if you're a sound person. Like, see, my headphones are broken, and I can pick up the sound. If you're like me, and you watch the Babyface study this, you'll get ikas on it because the backup singers sound louder than him.
Oh,
Now,
damn.
if you watch the Cranberries one, they've done a tiny disc and they're live, but they're doing an acoustic. That sound is amazing, man. Compare it to tiny disc when Babyface does it. So you'll just get ika and just one of my lap, the person doing the sound audio, like the sound engineer didn't have it on lock, man.
Yo.
Like, he's right. The everything that Babyface has touched was just like, oh nah. But yeah, bro, man,
Yo.
many talents, eh?
And then
Many talents.
there's a guy, JJ88. JJ88, I don't know how to say that. But he was asking if we can drop the song title for the intro.
Oh, yo.
And then, and then Oliveira, 9137. Apparently, she was saying that thousands of bodies from the Spaghetti Junction were transported to Waikamiti when they were doing the new development. So I don't know. I think people just want us to walk through Waikamiti. I think.
Okay.
Stuff that. Letty's better. Letty. That fucking walk through Letty. Let's stop it. Stop it.
What I remember last week,
Cyber Street.
You know what this is? When it goes, to that viewer and that listener, man, thank you. We are now going to create a list. No, because this is what I believe. Because I spoke to Ma at work last night, and I mentioned how we were talking about what committee and how it's full. She talked about Swanson, and she said how it's full. She told me she heard that there's a development up in Kumu that will be the next West Auckland sort of land for funeral, like as in the cemetery. That's what she told me. And then I said, I just read a comment, and that was that comment, Eddie, talking about in the 1860s, how they had relocated this one. Now, if you look at the history of Tamaki Makaurau, when I think it was the Kingitanga was looking after town, remember Ngāti Whātua, they are the residents of Auckland, right? But Ngāti Whātua gifted all that land to those English settlers, which is from CBD all the way up to Mount Eden. Now think about it. If they had to relocate all those bodies in the ground and take them up to what committee, wouldn't that land be like tapu land because of the remains?
Yeah.
Now you look how high the university is and where Simon Street Cemetery is. Now look how far down it drops. You heard about the three witches, right? That's at the domain. That is the same side of the CBD. Now imagine 1,000, right? You can't lead them all on top of each other, but you would have to go all the way up to the domain just before it reaches the hospital. Now that makes sense. If the hospital's been since back in the day and they died, because there is that underground tunnel from the Auckland hospital that goes down to the morgue That would have been straight out into that cemetery. That's what I'm
Oh,
assuming. But if anyone knows the history of it, that makes a lot of sense, eh?
No, I heard something like that too, because I knew that they had to make way of that. But I said, "Oh shit!" And then when I used to work on the civil engineering on the roads back then, the old Kiwi guys used to say something. Oh, shucks, did you know this motorway there to cut through a cemetery to make way? You know, for the minute. And I said, what? I said, yeah. That's why it's so eerie when you go down Simon Street back in, well, even today, even back in the days, even when I was a teenager, just sitting there, just working, looking at the cemetery that we're just working right next to, you can just touch it because it's all bent over and everything like this. And it's like, oh man, don't go over there, man. That's sacred land. Bro, shut up. But then, oh, well, up to you. Up to you. But it hits even harder when one of the workers was Māori, you know?
Yeah.
And he said, nah, bro, nah, it's true, man. Don't go that way. Yeah, come eat your lunch over here with the boys on this side. So he had to gather all the poly boys to come up away from that side of the cemetery. He goes, bro, check out the graves. Look on the markings that the stone cutter has done and everything. He has marked it as, bro, it's 18th century, 17th. That's, oh shit! How was this grave, bro? It's one of the first graves in Auckland, in New Zealand. Yeah.
Well,
So even shows in the archives too. Some scary shit, man. But then it makes sense. I heard that. But now that guy, the comment guy said they think that over to the second cemetery, which was White Committee.
yeah.
Man.
But you still want to go? You still want to take off?
I don't know, man. That's some
That's the cemetery across the road from someplace else, eh? That's the old cemetery across the road from someplace else. And then it's on the corner of what would be where that you know, just before the bridge, eh? That's
Crafton Bridge.
Yeah, the Crafton, yeah. Simon Street, that whole area. But even remember the old, I think the music place is still there. Behind that, if you park behind that the old music building where the intersection is, if you park behind there, because we used to work down there, but if we had to go do works, it's the roots have all uprooted.
Yeah.
They like the Auckland Council leaves it alone because it just costs too much money to repair it. But we park our trucks there. We're actually parking right at the cemetery, and the graves are right there. There's no gate. It's not fenced off or anything. That's at the back of those buildings. So
makes you
man,
wonder.
some scary shit, eh?
You wonder why? No, because like now, if you think about it, like if you're thinking about where someplace else is and you cross the road and you're at the cemetery, if you look at it, it actually doesn't have gates. It's not
exactly.
barred off. Eh?
It's open. Yeah,
That's
what I'm saying.
So
Yeah.
it's like, man, that Whenua Tapu has probably never been actually officially closed or
exactly.
been blessed or whatever.
And where it's all those graves are all fallen over and dug up, you can see like right through the roots to the grave. Yeah. It's like one of those Michael Jackson movies, Thriller. That's the first thing when you see it. That's the first thing you're thinking of is that video clip.
Because when you go to White Committee and you look at the Māori urupa, it's all nicely fenced off. And even the White Committee, there's that wooden fence that goes around. It's marked off, right? And then when you leave, Māori culture, they flick water on their head and shoulders. And me being paranoid, I do the same thing, even though I'm not Māori. But that Crafton cemetery just sits there surrounded by strangers, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy because in Samoa, the spiritual realm and the living realm exist in the same space. So we go out onto that's the difference between us and Māoris, is that we can sit on the grave, we can talk to them, and and at nighttime we go, shh, hey, you can't make too much noise, you'll wake up the dead, So the spirit realm and the living realm are all existing in one place. Like, even though they're gone, we talk to them as if they're still here. You know what I mean? But with Māoris, they go through. I think there's a place they go to, and they jump off the cliff and they go into the next world. But
that's up north.
Yeah,
that's up north. What's the point up north? The lighthouse.
Yeah.
It was the exit place. Eh?
Yeah, and then so that's crazy how like the cemetery, the one in Auckland, is just sitting there with no blood relations or anyone tending to it. Like how you said it's all broken down and and
It's
derelict.
it's Auckland Council land, so it's well looked after. It's well looked after. It's just that it's not marked off as much. But there's homeless people even today, even back then. They're still sleeping in there today.
Damn, no.
Exactly, man.
But yeah, Seki, that's it from Comments Corner.
Sure. So we'll pick up another section of something we used to do back in, which is like how many episodes back, and that was Eddie's local news. So I thought I'd pick this up, Wolves.
Yo.
So from the chuff. So local youth group Runway 135 is making powerful impact in West Auckland, and with more young people than ever joining and engaging programs from after school drop-ins to mentoring for Maori and Pasifika rangatahi, the group empowers youth to thrive. So it's called the Tuku Tuala Punga Initiative. Alone supported 90 young people and their whānau through the challenges of adulthood with the help from 2024, your West Auckland Support Fund. So Runway 135 secured funding for community-based ensuring vital services stay local, accessible. So yeah, you can learn more about the inspiring grassroots charity, the 135.org, or on Facebook. So shout out to the 135 fans out in Runway doing good work, man, and securing funding for another round. And also just in local footy. So shout out to Don Auckland's college results. So St. Paul's went down to King's College, 17-31. Dilworth tripled Botany Downs 59-29. St. Peter's gave Grammar their first loss of the season with a 29-22 win. Maunga Alapati went down to the boys from Sacred, 7-32. And my old stomping ground, Kelston, lost to the Bullbags up to bankruptcy. St. Kitts, 17-3. And this will probably be the result of the round. And shout outs to our little bros, or our big bros of West Auckland. Liston Topo de la Sal, the battle of the Kaplan, 34-11. So yeah, that's a big. So apparently the Kings game, St. Paul's pretty much had their probably lost it in the last half. Dilworth obviously smashed Botany, but looks like but even in local rugby, we had Waitemata versus Suburbs for the best of the West, and Suburbs catching a clutch with a 16-18 win over the boys at Waita. That was the top side. And then the Prem Development smashed the Suburbs Reserves 38-12. But the game of the league round, so obviously I've got mad love for Ponsonby Rugby League. It's the oldest rugby league club in the history of Auckland.
Yo.
And we hadn't had the Rooster for more than 40 years when we beat Seattle 2. Well, unfortunately, the Battle of Central, Mount Albert and Ponsonby, Mount Albert beat them. So you can actually catch the game live on the ARL league page.
Yo.
So yeah, that was a close game. I think Mount Albert just blowing it out in the last 10 minutes and secured the Rooster for, that's been a while. That's since Suwaya Matangi was still done at Mount Albert. So that's going back some time. So yeah, shout outs to the boys. I think Ming Mafoi is still down there helping Mount Albert. So so shout outs to Mount Albert for securing the Rooster.
Nice,
man. Nice updates.
Yo,
grassroots can't beat it.
All right,
can we have that every week?
Yeah, man. We'll do it weekly, man. We'll make it a weekly. I thought we could do the memory lane first because I mean this guy deserves his flowers, man. So our memory lane, on the 12th of this month, the greatest rugby superstar turned 50, and that's the great late Sir Jonah Lomu. I thought I know there was a lot of drama with Manasseh sharing his comments about what he thought about Iranian debt, and that was just the vote of Pasifika having a seat at the rugby union table, and it probably won't even happen in my lifetime, I guess, because it's such a whitewash and a white sort of way of thinking. But from my memory, Jonah was the guy who made the 2015 Rugby World Cup and the 2011 Rugby World Cup sort of go the way of the voters because of who he was. And he was only one guy, right? So it's crazy that in a day and age where Pasifika won't get recognised at their rugby union board table, knowing the amount of sirs who have been knighted by the Queen, like Sir Brian Williams, Sir Michael Jones, like there's just a name of few. But Jonah Lomu out of his own category, there's sort of no one who compares to the superstar, because as a 17-year-old kid who ran rampage down in South Auckland. And shout out to my cousin Simon for mentioning it. When I said I was at school, we played IQ rugby, take the points on 3. My cousin Eddie went to St. Paul's, and he said we were just league boys. We just ran it straight every day. Every run was like running straight, even though the ball got stripped off us. But my cousin Simon said that their coach used to say, whatever you do, boys, just give it to Jonah. And he wasn't joking when they said just give it to Jonah. So I'm gonna throw it over to you, boys. Start with you, Butch. Give us your most fun and shared memory, and just share a few words about the king of rugby league, man, of rugby union, because he could have been the greatest rugby league superstar we would have had either way, you know. But what do you, share a few words about Jonah, the power plant, the number 11.
Iconic, man. I think one of my favorite moments with Jonah, he wasn't even on the rugby field. He traveled to South Africa to visit the player called Hoos van der Westhuizen. And he was the number 9 for South Africa, 89 test caps. And he was one of the guys that tackled Jonah. And I remember watching it as a kid. I was like, damn, like, I hate that dude. You know, like, you bastard. Now, I don't know. There's always been a special relationship between South Africa and New Zealand rugby. The players, the coaches, and everything. And we, you know, I guess with South Africans, they come from that hard background, you know, similar to like Islanders. And when Jonah Lomu traveled over there, and he sat down with him and he says, "Oh, I've just come here to visit my friend," and he touches him on his knee. And even though he was sick himself as well, he was always more concerned about, you know, his South African mate. So for me, that moment was powerful. Whereas, like, it just goes to show, like, that was just a person, the character he was. You know, despite his flaws, you know, when not all of us are perfect or, you know, angels as well. Despite his flaws, man, he had a big heart, and the respect he showed to Hoost was just amazing, and that touched me more than any of his rugby accolades. But yeah, just definitely gone way too soon. I would love to have seen him as one of the ambassadors or even the head of the New Zealand Rugby Union, to be honest. Just and also seeing how people around the world respect him, like kids in like the UK and whatnot, still idolize him. You know, so yeah, that'll be my moment when you went over to South Africa to meet Houston. You know,
That's nice. Yeah, most definitely, Jonah Lomu, man, gone too soon. God bless you, man, for the memories. Man, wish you're still here, man. You're ambassador for all of Polynesia, but in the world of rugby, in the world of league, even, man, you're an ambassador for the sport alone. You're the first one to make a huge statement and put Lakapi on the world class stage and let it be known and let it be noticed. If anybody was to make a statement, man, just check out Jonah Lomu, man. Check out Jonah Lomu. I always remember his weight, when he was a young, 125, and I think he was like stood at like 1.66, 1.96 or something. But anyway, yeah, born on 12th of May. There you go, boys. May, celebrating New Zealand month of music. Mayweather fights in May. Jonah Lomu was born in May, man, 1975. And unfortunately passed away in 2015. So much aloha to you and your family and your kids, man. You're a legend, all in all. And that just brings me to this, because it's pretty touchy. When is enough is enough? When do Polynesians get recognized as Kiwis or New Zealanders? Are we recognized as Kiwis? Are we recognized as New Zealanders? Or are we still being judged or recognized as migrants from Polynesia? Have a think about that, viewers. Put your comments down below and let us know. Because we contributed enough, especially with sports. And when they're talking about brands, Polynesia plays a massive part in that, in putting brands of New Zealand sport on the world-class stage. And that's another chat on its own. So what I mean is, do our big names and celebrities, do they have a big name on their table? Because this happens a lot, and I've seen it firsthand in a sport that I'm affiliated with. But oh man, it hurts. You know, do they have merit? You know, doesn't matter who they are or what they've done or whatever like this, but it seems like there's no even playing ground even for them. You know, to even feed our next generation of Kiwis or of Polynesian New Zealanders or Australians or Polynesian back home as well, for our people alone. But hey, it is what it is. But let's change the way we think on their table when it comes to voting. That's all I'm saying. We got to have some sort of merit. Imagine that. Imagine that. I seen a comment I was chopping it up with. Imagine no Polynesians in footy, in the world of rugby, in the world of league, in the world of the fight game, or whatever it may be. Imagine if there's no Nigerians in the world of the fight game and soccer over here, whatever, representing and helping to build New Zealand. With all their sports and brands. So yeah, much offers to Jonah Lomu, man. You're still the man, man. And that's, if anybody wants to know how to make a statement, bang bang. That's how you do it, Mr. Jonah Lomu. Yeah.
Jackie.
God bless, brother. God bless.
Oh man, I have a few moments of Jonah and what sticks out for me in my mind. One was the fact that he was so humble, like such a humble guy. And I guess like any reenactment or like any bio video of him coming up is like the fact that they got so much footage of Jonah coming up is like one of the greatest gifts to those who didn't get to see who the freak of nature was. The fact that I got a cousin who used to always try and compare himself to Jonah, like especially athletics, like Jonah still holds some of the records that counties, Manukau's athletics, like his shot put, his long jump and some of his sprint records that still haven't been broken until this day, man. But for me, to stand out as a player, like on the field, was like his introduction to the sevens circuit. Like it had never been seen. Like there were probably glimpses of like Wasale and Marika Vunibaka, like and like maybe Ndolo, like trying to play the way Jonah did it. But like my cousin said, when the coach said, just give it to Jonah, it didn't matter if you were on the right side of the field inside your end goal or 50 meters. Whenever he got the ball, if he took 2 steps, you were done. And Eric Rush even speaks about it. Like when they played touchdown at over in Mangere or East Tamaki, wherever, if you gave him 2 meters, you're done. And it's funny because the in and out that guy does, no one else can do the runs that Jonah does. And to this day, it's never been perfected by any other player. And it's the amount of guys he carried over the line. That's what makes his highlight reel that much different than anyone else. And the thing that annoys me is when people try and compare recent wingers or any wingers, they try to do Julian Savea as a comparison to Jonah. It's like, Jonah's untouchable, man. There's once in a lifetime sort of players that once he comes around, there will never be another. It's like a David Tua and Mark Hunt. Those sort of guys are once in a lifetime. It never can be replicated. It will never be done, bro. Not until I leave this world anyways. But until then, man, good luck. But yeah, rest in love to one of the greatest rugby players and the most humble person, man. And just the stuff he used to do when you hear like on even Justin Marshall talk about how Jonah was always like walking around with the speaker, because he was one of those guys in New Zealand Music Month who had his own album with all the warm-up songs that he would listen to on his headphones, and he made an album. Like that's how great he was, you know. And that guy is undoubtedly one of the greats, definitely.
Most definitely. One more touch on that, Bruce. One more touch on that. When you say the saying, you know, with the players, I'll just give it to Jonah. 25 World Cup, South Africa. Enough said. Give it to Jonah.
Sure, boys. Fia Poko of the week. We don't actually have a video, but we will share because it's the month of music, New Zealand Music Month. But one of the Cookie's most famous up and coming artists, and he's made himself a mainstream on pretty much on all your mainstream radio now. But he was big during the COVID pandemic, and I know he was traveling a lot with Sweden Ari down. He traveled down to the Mandate and he performed one of his first tracks, and he was there wearing a cookie patch, and a lot of people were giving him a bit of stick about wearing his cookie patch. I mean, if that's not bad enough, because some of his videos are pretty mildly, I like his energy, but you gotta understand his energy to get his vibe right. If you want to share that with us, Kaisar. one of New Zealand artists goes into a club, he gets bounced because his face.
Oh, yeah. So we're talking about Shane Walker. Yeah, shout out to those Shane Walker, man. Love your music, man. Celebrating New Zealand Music Month. Yeah, so here's the claims. Shane Walker goes out with a bunch of friends. I think most of them were Ba'alangi, so to say. And then a bar in Ponsonby, they rock up there and the doorman rejects him. The reason why he rejects him is because his teardrop tattoos on his left and on his right. He's got two on the, I think, he's got two on the left and one on the right. So he gets rejected because of his face tattoos. And obviously it's because of the teardrop tattoos, right? So, yeah. He was pretty touchy about it, but also he was challenging it as well. The doormans apparently said that, we can't let you in. It's our club policy. It's our club rules. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he feels discriminated. By all means, yeah, that is a little bit of a discrimination. Well, it's a lot of discrimination, really, if he can't get in just based off his tattoos. But hey, that's the rules, right? But they got to be careful as well of those rules, because there is such a thing as human rights, right?
Yeah.
Just based off that. I mean, my opinion, your face is your passport to the world. Because to me, it's like, take it as a sign, Shane Walker. Take it as a sign. It's like you get hit up on it now at a Ponsonby club, but there is rules when you go to borderlines as well. They can also reject you because of tattoos, regardless of what it may mean or what to you personally. But to them, they have a list, man. They can reject people just based off their tattoos, whether it's gang related, even if it's not, whether it's gang affiliated, or whether it's a danger to their borderlines or whatever. But those are the rules, right? Mm-hmm. And those are borderline rules. They have a system to follow by. So it's better to know now. Take that as something to research on as well. I mean, for me personally, man, it is discriminating a brother there just because of his gang tattoos. Sorry, not gang tattoos, because of his face tattoos. Yeah. But those are the rules for the club, and it is what it is. So yeah, I leave it up to you and the viewers. What do you guys think? What's up?
I guess rules are rules, I guess, but yeah. There has to be clarity and definition on what constitutes facial tattoos that have cultural or religious importance. Because I remember in New Zealand used to ban all tattoos showing, but now I think they've kind of relaxed some of the ruling around it, as long as it has cultural or religious significance to it. I remember there was a influencer, Jaden Lang, who got bounced from a nightclub in Australia for having neck tattoos.
Neck tattoos, eh? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not the first time it's happened. It's happened multiple times, but yeah. Yeah, it's real sticky. I mean, it's the establishment. I guess they can make the rules, but then yeah, there's a gray area to it. You know, yeah. That's my 10 cents.
It's funny, yeah, 2025, and we're sort of still getting pulled up on that sort of shit.
Yo.
I mean, when the mokokoa was a rebirth on for fingers, and then a lot of Maori women were proud to wear it and never be questioned. But then a Maori lady who walked into a nightclub in Surfers Paradise, she got bounced. Why? Because of mokokoa. Like stuff like that, you know. But that's sort of like a different culture in Australia. But you think if that's happening here, it's different. It's like, so because she got bounced, it's like, bro, you're on our land, G. Like, you know, that's one of those arguments. So I think this topic there is up for Fia Poko of the week. I'm going to play you a snippet, and this is the exit of Martin Taupau from the Brisbane Broncos. I'm going to play the audio, boys, and I don't mean to get you on your team, but you and Pressure, I got a lot of family, and my cousin Colaway, they all love the Broncos, but here's a take. Listen to this.
Fine. Are we going to let this slide? You can get fined for liking a post, and then like it later, you can get fined for that. That's a slippery slope, man. Compare the two. Someone found on Bitcoin, flashed the cat on a disqualified license. Was kill someone. That's 3 people. Trapper. Didn't kill someone. Step on the rest of the our attention. Come back to the bro money. Never been in trouble. Never brought the game into disrepute. Role model for the younger generation. Never made the game look bad. Never worked in the community. 256 NRL games. 24 tests for the Kiwis. That's not easy to do. But to get fired over liking a post, that's crazy, bro. What? Stop. Yeah. Here's a thought. Yeah. Freeze up. Raise that up. So attention, but that's That's crazy, bro. What? Stop. Yeah, crazy thought. Yeah, freeze up. Close that up. So attention, but it's the dark side of the NRL. It's the side of the NRL that the perfect fan does not. I'm trying to get rid of you, Piano. Anything to get rid of him. So the bad news is obviously trying to get rid of Marty. These are the games that NRL clubs and professional clubs you're at will start playing if they don't want you. They're going to try and nail you on everything. Sitting with the post ages ago, they're going to be giving you drug tests, alcohol tests, weight restrictions. If you're over this certain weight, then they've got you. They're going to give you extra sessions, do promos. They're going to make you train Reggies, and then make you 18 minutes. You have to double up. And if you come late to any of those, they've got you, bro. Okay? But I never thought that they would actually fire you for liking an Instagram post. That's next level crazy. Therefore, if you're in this position, always be on your toes, bob and weave, stay squeaky clean, and you should be all right. Everything in there. Good luck, lad.
We're on the back of you two boys. There's our two Fia Pokos of the week. So who's going to get Fia Pokos? The security in the club, or Shane Walker, or the Brisbane Bronco administration for Martin Te Pau liking a social media hate on Maguire, which is your coach, right? And you like it. And did he get bullied? Oi. Come on, be honest. Let's go.
I'm not gonna touch my team, man.
I was just about to say, put
Yeah.
your feelings aside and make a decision about not seconds.
Nah, because there's a lot to it. Like yeah, Israel, man, what he did, it's not good. But there's multiple players from Sydney-based clubs that have done worse and have gone off way easier. I won't drop names, but if you ever look at the New South Wales or any of the Sydney-based media franchises, they rip into any Queensland team, North Queensland, Gold Coast Titans, defeated debacle, Israel Man, even the Katuni Stags, Six Video, like they just rip into us because we're a non-Sydney based team. Mighty Te Pau, I love the dude, don't get me wrong. But for the Broncos, he hasn't been performing. He's just one of those players. Yeah, he's a good dude, but good dudes don't get us premierships. And you have to think about it as it's a business. We have to do what's best for the franchise. And yeah, I don't agree with getting kicked off or liking a post, disrespecting your coach. But hey, Cobbo did the same thing against Walters. But he managed to keep playing and keep professional until Walters got kicked. But yeah, my Fia Poko is probably feelings aside. I'll go with the tattoo. Yeah,
Shane Walker.
because yes, I'll go with Shane Walker. Yeah, whoever's the bouncer, sorry, you should know better. Sicky.
Yeah, for me, I won't touch the Broncos. They're in the shit. No worries, man. No worries. Because if they keep bobbing and weaving, man, they have to follow up with a knee. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's how you stop the ball, man. The weave. Yeah. I'll have to go with Shane Walker, man. For the rules, eh? For the club rules, man. I mean, he's not affiliated. I believe that is. He was saying those teardrops represents his past loved ones that have passed. So. But by saying that, Shane, man, you're going to be traveling a bit here and there, brother. Yeah, good luck. Good luck on that. But, that's my Fia Poko of the week.
Sure, boys. Got a food review. Best Pacific Catering. So, clearly, I mentioned earlier in the episode, Jersey sponsored the catering bill for Kita's graduation. A small business startup doing otais. And they got Best Pacific Catering to come out to the Lions Club. We hired out the Lions Club to have Nikita's dinner there. Their menu is quite big, but in total we had chop suey, a beef curry, whalifu taro, a raw fish, a massive as ham, like a ham that actually I managed to cut it up and fill up like at least 3 oven trays. And there's something else, rice and bread buns. I don't know what we paid per head, but I can tell you, as a catering service and the taste of Pasifika when you eat this meal is about a 4.5 stars out of 5. And I'm gonna put a 5-star on the surface. They're good. We have them quite often in my family. I know they did my auntie Lisa's, Freno and my uncle Rob's. And they were all onto it. Like, we over-catered. I think catering minimum was 50. We catered for 33. There was a lot of food. And sometimes you deal with caterers, they don't have takeaway dishes, and they tell you make sure you have your own dishes. Now this guy was onto it. He charged us $4.50 a bowl, which is empty bowls, just to put the leftover food in. Oh, and a minus. So the menu was quite big. Yeah, superb service, man. And the guy hung around and he packed down as well. Yeah, in terms of what you're paying for per meal, you like they say the average serving is one to two, but this guy's man, their catering per head is it's quite generous. But yeah, man, if you're ever looking for catering, best Pacific catering is probably the bee's knees, and at the moment, like for affordable pricing, they're pretty good. So yeah, you can look them up on online and on Facebook as well. Best Pacific Catering, which is a 4.5 stars. That's from your barber's word, man, ladies barbers.
Yo,
Shotouts. So that pretty much wrapping up our pod for today. Eddie's doing some big numbers on pod, man. Like he's almost at his 40th. Kaiser's
Yo,
almost at his 10th. Oh shucks, we're getting there.
yo.
So yeah, we'll head into our last words, boys. We'll start off with you, Chucky. School.
Yeah, 10K is not enough for me. I'll go for 50K. So, I'll keep going until I reach that 50K. Yeah. So yeah. Final words. Yeah, just shout out to the hustlers, to the families, men. We're all going through it, but we've got to do what we've got to do. Just reset mentally, physically, and just readapt, and just keep pushing forward. As long as we're not pushing back, we're winning, right? Yeah, we're winning. So all glory to the Lord Jesus Christ. Jesus leads and we shall follow. And as for the viewers, man, much love to you guys. Shout out to you guys. Much alofas, much respect to you guys. Hopefully you guys have a good week. And don't be shy. Don't forget to comment down below for that 50K. Yeah, that's me, man. That's me.
Shout out to Vailima and Westside Okalangi, man. Big shout out to you guys. You guys always supporting us every video, and everyone else that comments as well. My last words: just work hard, persevere. I know times are hard, but the reward will come in the end. And this is a small rugby side that just started a few years ago and managed to beat my team, one of the oldest rugby franchises in New Zealand. And the reason why I brought this up is because this guy worked hard and he just persevered and ended up toppling one of the big teams in New Zealand. 21 carries, 3 turnovers won, 90 meters carried, 5 defenders beaten, 4 offloads, 1 clean break, 7 tackles, 1 line break assist, and 44 touches of the footy ball. So shout out to Ari Xavier for that. But just for everyone that's grinding out there, man, you don't have to be a superstar. You just got to be Ari Xavier. Just head down and work, and we will get through this. Times are tough, but we will persevere. We'll get through this and just help each other out during these times, and hopefully we'll see light at the end of the tunnel. But yeah, Seki.
Shout my host. Just before we wrap up, I just wanted to shout out to all my fans who made it over for the epic week of events that happened this week for my inga. Appreciate you guys so much. I wanted to make another special shout out to my cousin-in-law who came out. She only lives just up the road, but it's like when you live closer to those people, you hardly see them. You know what I mean? Like you see the people who live far away more than you see the people who live just up the road. I mean, that's life, right? But I wanted to make a special mention to the Rugby League Club for something that they posted just the other day, and I'll give it a quick read. It's called Kia ora whānau. It is important that we continue to be as a club and blaze the trail when it comes to the importance of initiatives and prioritize the experience of our tamariki. The club has engaged in important rangatahi and in community to come to the club and kōrero about us the importance of keeping emotions in check and keeping a cool head on how we get together before we lose it. We applaud all our coaches and managers who attend. The players, 80% of kids and coaches are volunteers, and our refs are people from the community, and they often have no touch judges, no help, they don't actually care who wins, and definitely no bunker. I'm talking about referees. The old saying becomes an old saying because they stand up over time. If you don't have anything nice to say, this is So that goes out to anyone who's a coach, volunteer, coaching staff, anyone in grassroots footy. Kids are like sponges, man. So, like when I was a kid, I used to hear so much going on the sideline. I thought being a captain and speaking to the ref, I could speak to the ref the way I used to hear people talk about it on the sideline. So, man, shout out to Coach Apulu with his topside under sevens Pati rugby ripper team, because he messaged me the other day talking about how some of the other kids in the other team don't have sportsmen like, right? And he caught some of the kids laughing. And I said, they're simply just uneducated kids who don't know the rules. Okay. So there's just kids being kids, just being valea, you know. So in saying that, always keep your head up, man. Put a smile on your face every day above the ground. It's a great day to be alive. And like I always be on this podcast, man, just enjoy the company and the time with these two fine gentlemen, two of the WesWes Network's finest. But yeah, you know what we say on here, man. You know what it is. Get it late in the
Sick.
So yeah, man, if you made it, if you want to listen to more of our content, man, be sure to catch more of the 135 Footy Show or talk league, also the Counteract or talk rugby. Of course, producer Cam's our title podcast, the Cam Schuster podcast, or you're supporting gossip. Catch the 135 channel with him and Eric. So if you made it this far, man, give us a like, subscribe and share. Help us share love for the WesWes Network. We give our Pasifika point of view in one shot with no distraction, man. So that's about dozens, boys. Sweetas, you know what it is. Let's get the puck out of here.
Oos.
Oosh.